Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, we have to start with the first story that has to do with Nigerians over there in Europe for what they did over the weekend, performing so well, the likes of Osimhen, Ademola Bankole, and also Asisat Oshoala. Nigerian players abroad, Osimhen, Lookman, Rome Serie, Oshoala wins title. Good one for Asisat Oshoala for the fact that she was able to win the Super Copa for the women's football. Good over there. She also scored, and you look at Victor Osimhen also doing so well right now, scoring so much goal in the Serie, making it so easy according to the way he has been scoring goals, and also Ademola Lookman getting a brace for Atalanta as they were able to do well in their game. Really, the two of them have really dominated Serie right now, and Oshoala has shown why she is the African player of the year when it comes to women football. I have in the studio Ikenna Okonkwo. Good to have you.
Thank you so much. And
also I have Jide Oshoala. Good to have you.
Yeah, good to be here again.
Good one. So let's talk about this, because if you check the way it is in Europe, like concerning Nigerian footballers, it seems these three players seems to be having an edge, although attention needs to be given to Paul Onachu too, also over there in Genk in Belgium, Jupiler League, and you have others too doing so well. But for a striker to score 14 goals, 10, 11 goals in Italian Serie A, which is not common, and for an African player, that shows that they are actually being extraordinary.
Okay, I'm sure you're referring to Victor Osimhen.
Yes.
Who's our star boy, of course, and he's the most expensive African player and at the moment. I'm glad that he's doing very well for Napoli. Of course, he has able to lead Napoli to top of the table. Although they lost against Juventus, I mean they lost one of the cup, but that's just
they lost. That's the Italian Cup.
Yeah, Italian Cup, but that was just a blight on their performance. But in the league, they did very, very well, and Osimhen has been the driving force, getting them all the goals, and of course he has some few assists to his name, and of course Ademola Lookman as well too, a very bright star against Juventus Football Club. Even Juventus, of course, they are going through a very, very bad patch moment, both off the pitch and on the pitch. But then it was for him to score a brace, and of course he had an assist as well too in that 3-3 game against Juventus. Shows the quality of our players in Europe. There, of course, though people like Wobin, of course, they were on the losing side. There are some of other players who are not even playing regularly, but looking at this Osimhen Co, I'm proud that they are doing very, very well in their respective club. So now my only prayer now, my only hope is that they bring this form they have for their clubs now down to the national team, which is what we need them, because very soon the qualifying series will start for the AFCON. So we need to bring this form, this same form, this ginger, this. I saw a picture of Osimhen, the way he trapped the ball in the air. So that picture alone shows how he was able to control that. But we want to see that ability of him for the Super Eagles, because he can't do well for your clubs, and then Nigerians are crying because Super Eagles is not doing well. So we need to see that form of that. They need to bring that club form into the national team. So for Asisat Oshoala, of course, she's the Iranian. She's the.
That's what we were talking about.
Oh yes, this particular
This picture is like a picture that he needs to hang in his house. Honestly, for exhibition.
This is just a very perfect picture, and he was able to control the ball from mid-air. It says a lot about his ability. So if you bring the same form to Super Eagles, I know you can do that. He only needs a better players around him to be able to achieve all this, which is all what we need. Therefore, Asisat Oshoala, of course, she has led the Barcelona team to many victories, many wins, and of course they've won many trophies together. So I'm very glad with the way some of our Nigerian players, both the male and the female, are doing in Europe.
Well, for Ikenna, you did actually mention all of them, but really I want to bring out concerning Oshoala, so that attention has been on the male. Really, we know that it has been a dominant force, but really, Asisat Oshoala joining Barcelona has been a lot of blessings to her career, and she has really done well. Now they won their first title of the season. That's their own Women's Super Cup, and she was able to score the second goal. And if you look at this lady, African Player of the Year for women, and really no one actually has been close when it comes to women football in Africa.
Yeah, I think basically our players, both for male and female, are performing good in the past 3-4 seasons. When Jide was talking, I was asking myself within me, how did Nigeria miss World Cup? With and Osimhen that has been firing from all cylinders. You see, the challenge we've had over time, especially recently, is that our coaches, I mean, Super Eagles, Super Falcons, they have not been able to factor in a formation that would, further help these players to express what they've got. That's just a fact. Over time, or sometimes you hear that this coach has gone to England or to any country to go and watch or go and see players and all of that. What essentially did they get from getting to these places? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Super Eagles player coach just returned from England. What were you able to get? Even without going to England, when you're watching on TV, the way the player is moving, the formation, the players around him, are you watching these things? So that when they come back, to play at home, you don't frustrate the way they want to, I mean, not necessarily the way they want to play, but the way that is suitable for their own style of play. Because it's not just about, now that I am hearing that they are talking about how to bring Chukwuemeka in from Chelsea and all of them. Amandeka has also joined Chelsea from PSV. So the thing is that we want to just gather stars. Stars don't play. Look at what's happening in PSG right now. Lille have gone above PSG in the league. It goes to show that football is a team play. It's not just a one-man, two-man, even if it's 10-man starting. It doesn't work that way. If these stars don't, if there is no team play, if there is no understanding amongst them, there's always a problem. Or there will be always a problem. Oshoala is a case study as well, just like you mentioned. Oshoala goes to Barcelona and do wonders. I mean, he's a Serie winner in Barcelona. But when it comes to Super comes, it's either she's injured or one thing or the other will happen and she will not be able to express herself. So it's something that our coaches here in Nigeria, I mean, a good number of them, Super Eagles, they are all foreign coaches. They should be able to translate what these people are doing at the club level. Then when they come to the national level, they should be able to do, if not more, because, I mean, they should be able to give more to their fatherland.
We've been talking concerning Nigerian players, what they did over there in Europe over the weekend, for the fact that some of them scored, in fact, lifting titles likes of Oshoala winning the Women's Super Cup there. But right now, a lot of Nigerians are really concerned that all of them, as they are scoring over there in their different clubs, they need to at least inculcate that to Nigerian competition when it comes to either AFCON or World Cup or any competition that they are playing. They need to be more serious because recently, Super Falcons and also especially Super Eagles, they've not been too convincing. In fact, below par is the mark you want to give to Super Eagles, but Super Falcons, we know that yes, it has not been easy for them, but right now they just need to get their acts together. As they are doing well for their clubs, they should also do well for their country where they actually belong. From there, let's quickly look at, we mentioned Osimhen at Ademola Lookman. Let's take a look at the Italian Serie A, where matches were actually played. Also, we look at the result, also the table where Juventus played 3-3 against Atalanta. That was where Ademola Bankole was able to score a brace for his club. Juventus right now are going through a lot because of the fact that they were actually docked about 15 points from what they had, and now, well, we'll get to that. Now, Hellas Verona defeated Lecce 2-0. You have Fiorentina losing against Torino 1-0. Napoli, Victor Osimhen scoring one of the goals, 2-0 against Salernitana. Sampdoria losing against Udinese. In Nigeria, they are scoring that goal. You have the likes of Isaac Success in that team also. Edige is also in Udinese scoring that goal for them. Monza 1-1 against Sassuolo, while AS Roma, Dybala, doing so well. Dybala scoring one of the goals there. Well, from the way it is, you have Roma defeating Spezia 2-0. You just have to give it up to the way the table is standing. Napoli running away with it, 50 points ahead of AC Milan with 38. And if you look at 12 good points ahead of other teams, AC Milan are trailing Inter, they have 37. Then you have Roma also on that same point. Atalanta are standing 5th. Lazio, Udinese, Torino, Juventus, because of that particular 15 points now, they are now standing 9th with just 23 points. Fiorentina are also on 10th position. Let's just flip it to the back and have a glimpse of how it's happening in the second part of it. Looking at 11 to 20 of the Serie A now. Bologna They are 22 points with playing 18 matches. Empoli, Monza, Lecce, Spezia, Salernitana, down to Cremonese, while Nigerian players actually apply their trade. But right now, our attention is from 1 to 10. And you look at Napoli, really, they've really done well this is in fact. From the way it is, all they need to do is to be focused so that they can just win this Scudetto.
The league is there to lose.
Yeah, seriously.
That's it. Because now 12 points. Yeah, even though Juventus were their closest rival before the 15 points deduction, but then 12 points against AC Milan. I don't know how AC Milan did. That means Napoli need to lose at least 4 games. 4 games before they can, and they've only lost a game this season. And that was, in fact, it was this early this against Juventus that they lost that game. Throughout last year, they did not lose. They did not try the beginning of the season. Tonight, they did not lose a game. So for them to have kept that momentum, and everything, and this league is for them to lose. That's all. They have everything to win this league now because just keep on playing, keep on scoring goals, and just pray that a player like Osimhen remains fit, fully fit, no injury. Maybe his mask might even go. Maybe when he removes his mask, he might even score more goals. Also, because I remember the son. He said that the mask does not allow him to see the ball well. But Osimhen is still managing the mask. I'm sure when he removes the mask, maybe you'll see the ball clear. But even the mask was able to control the ball in the air. So that means it's extremely good.
At least the mask is not blocking his eyes.
I've taken time to watch Osimhen's matches. I mean, the matches he played for his club, about 3, 4, 5 of them. He has this free role that he kind of is the top striker.
But let's say I've discovered that let me allow this guy.
Yeah,
let him
he understand.
around.
So he's someone that likes to express himself. But when it comes to Super Eagles, most times he's caged to one kind of pattern that will not allow him to express himself.
Now that you mention Super Eagles, if you watch Osimhen, despite the fact that you may not even see the team maybe doing so well, but he always wants to justify himself by being out a bit. You look at what you just mentioned, maybe the playing pattern, the other players need to understand, take time to look at how are the players playing with him in Napoli. What can we do here?
That's what the coaches done.
You understand? To instill that to these players that will be supporting him.
Yeah.
So the coaches you just have to look at how they can just bring out the creative players. Look at the kind of players that surround him in Napoli and see how he can use the Nigerian players, his other team is Nigeria, to see how they can support it. Now, it would be nice, he's the best Nigerian player in England at the moment. It's very fantastic. But when it comes to Nigeria, I just don't know what happens when they come back home, they mess up. Now, Iwobi is just going about, though his club has been losing.
But he's doing well whenever he plays.
Yeah, we see him trying to make great chances for his team. But in Super Eagles, he's caged or his passes, they don't even get. Maybe I can't just say what is wrong when it comes to Super Eagles. But maybe there's a mentality block somewhere. When they come home, I'm back in Nigeria, for Christ's sake. Maybe that kills their morale or something. I just don't know what. But I just pray that they keep, because now we have conference series coming up very soon. I think from March thereabouts, and we have to go for AFCON. Of course, and the Nations Cup, World Cup qualifier also start afterwards too. So we need all these players to be on top form, because we cannot afford to miss another World Cup. Though it's still in 4 years' time, but we can't afford to lose another World Cup.
Well, from the way it is, Nigerian players joining to get their acts together. They've been doing so well in their different clubs, but they need to at least put that into the national team where they actually get that particular thing from, one way or the other. Why they play for Nigeria, either in under 17, under 20, talk about the Olympics and also at the World Cup. Nigeria really had a lot to do with their careers. One way or the other, they need to at least show more talent, show more commitment. That big manism, like we call it, needs to stop when it comes to Super Eagles. Now, let's divert again from that particular Italian Serie A. Let's go to matches that will be coming up tonight. A lot of matches, about 4 of them. Let's look at it. Fulham will be playing against Tottenham Hotspur in England. That is in London at the Craven Cottage. You have Valencia at the Mestalla Stadium against Almeria. Cremonese play away to Bologna over there in Italian Serie A. And Empoli will be playing at the Giuseppe Meazza, the one we call San Siro, against Inter Milan. Let's take it one by one from Ikena now. Fulham, Tottenham. We know that Tottenham are actually, yes, on the table. You can give them, I think they are 5th, right? They are fighting to see how they can up their game. But you need to be very careful playing against another London derby against Fulham.
And at Fulham, they are not doing badly this season as well.
Of course.
They are, I think, at seventh or so. So, and every of the game they have played, the last game against, I think it was Newcastle, ended in goalless or so. They have always fought they don't have stars, like outstanding stars.
They play as a team.
They play, just like it's supposed to be as a team. And they have always fought for every game. And even if they are playing against Man City, I'm sure, or I'm thinking that they wouldn't even think that they want to lose the match. They are playing to get something out, even if it's a point. So playing against a Tottenham that is not that stable at the moment, they need to watch it.
They need to watch it there. Well, Tottenham Hotspur know what is at stake. This is the London derby. They also want to at least try to see how they can add more points. Right now, Conte and the entire squad, it seems what is really missing within that team, they have what it takes, they have the depth, but something is actually lacking.
Maybe the players are going through fatigue or something, because I know that Conte is a very hard worker. Conte can put up the players to extreme training exercises. I recall an interview that where Son said he collapsed. I mean, he almost collapsed during preseason because of the training. And Son is a military guy who has gone through military drills. So going through those drills is not new to him. But for him to give up under Conte's training regime, you know that he has taken them through rigorous, because he wants them to be 100, which were not 100%, 101% fit. But then I don't know what is now going on with them. They started the season very well, but after the World Cup, just prior before the World Cup, they started fumbling, and now we are seeing them losing against Chelsea, against Arsenal, and now against Fulham again. But then I see Conte, because he has his eyes on though they cannot win the league, but he has his eyes on the Champions League spots. So maybe he needs because he needs to get above Manchester United, who were down below the table, and of course we're now seeing Man U as a title contender. It's just strange that a club that was probably 9th, 10th, 11th,
they picked up.
And now we are now calling them title contenders because they're top 4. But of course, their wings have been clipped by Arsenal yesterday.
But anything can still happen, isn't it?
Anything can still happen.
But then I see Tottenham try to they want to overtake Man U at all costs to say how they can get that, even if they have 4th
position, yes.
So that they can get into the Champions League qualification series.
From the way it is right now, a tough one there. Looking at those games that will be coming up, Valencia will also be playing at the Mestalla Stadium. What would they do right now? They are really struggling among the, in fact, you can call them mid-table right now. In fact, they are not even up to 10th. They are standing 12th on the law, talking about Valencia and also Sevilla. Well, Valencia will be trying to see how they can justify their means by adding more if they can get at least the 3 points at stake there. While we quickly look through some transfer stories, a lot of transfer here and there is still open. We talk about what is happening there. Let's talk about Everton. Everton majority owner Farhad Mashiri in talks with club hierarchy about Frank Lampard's future. They are not sure what's happening concerning Frank Lampard right now, because that club seems not to be getting it right. Coming from Farhad Moshiri. And let's take another one. Roma are ready to make a move for Chelsea winger Hakim Ziyech. That's another one that has to do with Hakim Ziyech. Roma, Jose Mourinho, they are ready to make a move for him. They want to get him over to the city of Rome for him to play for them. That would be a fantastic move for Ziyech if he can actually move to join Jose Mourinho. And now that one says Manchester United, PSG in the chase for Brazilian youngster. His name is Vitor Roque of Atletico Paranaense. Paranaense over there in Brazilian league, who has a 52.5 million release clause in his contract. Vitor Roque there. Well, Atletico Paranaense is just a 17-year-old, and right now Manchester United, PSG are in the chase for this Brazilian. They want to get him, and you have to cover 52.5 million pounds before you can get him on a release clause. And we talk about Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, and Leicester City are keen on PSG goalkeeper. Talking about Keylor Navas. You saw Keylor Navas against the Saudi club over there when they played last week. Right now, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth are real, and Leicester City are all looking to get him to their own fold if they can get Keylor Navas. While Inter Milan are keen on England centre-back Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling has been with Roma, and right now Inter Milan are keen on getting him on a free transfer. Hopefully, if they can get him, they'll be very happy. But will Jose Mourinho allow him to leave? I leave that to Jide. Well, just briefly, for Chris Smalley joining Inter Milan. Briefly.
Okay, we know how Mourinho loves his players, and if he's not good enough, of course, we will not see him starting from Mourinho. So I don't think Mourinho will release him. Yes, I don't. But let me just quickly talk about the Brazilian guy. I'm not so sure he will play for Man U, PSG. He might just be on loan for his club in Brazil, because in Brazil they don't allow their players at that age to leave. So they can buy them, but you remain in Brazil until a particular age before you cannot leave today. But then the money is already in Brazilian economy.
From the way it is, I want to appreciate you, Ikena Okonkwo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adeni.
And also Jide Olushola. Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.